If you work in IT, there's a decent chance that your laptop knows more about you than anyone else. It knows when you logged in, it knows when you drifted off, it knows when you opened Excel, and also when you minimized Excel to watch a YouTube video. But what happens when your company uses the same laptop to track you? Take Cognizant, for example. Reports suggest it wants to track the productivity of its employees. And how will it do that? Through a new software. It will track employee behavior on their devices. And this is how the system supposedly works. If there is no keyboard or mouse activity for over 5 minutes, employees are declared idle. If it remains inactive for 15 minutes, the employee is marked away from desk. The dashboard shows when a user is logged in, it shows when apps are open and how much time is spent on different tasks, which means the company can create a minute-by-minute picture of a typical work day. It can tell what the employee is doing every single moment. Reports say this new system is being gradually rolled out. It will be introduced from team to team, and this has made some employees uneasy. Now, we must add here that Cognizant has denied using this software. But this story is not about Cognizant. It's also not the only company caught up in this debate. Several IT firms are said to be using tools like this. Take Microsoft, for example, Microsoft Teams. It is what most companies use for communication. And Microsoft Teams is planning an update that will reflect the location of the employee. Say you connected with the Wi-Fi of your organization, then it will show the building that you're in. So your company will know if you're in office or not when you've joined that Teams meeting. And companies insist that this is not about policing employees. They argue it's about understanding how work gets done. You see, remote work has become the norm these days. Some employees are working from home at all times. So companies say they must find the bottlenecks. They must reduce wasted time and build better processes. Fair enough. But employees, unsurprisingly, do not see it that way. They see a dashboard, they see metrics, they see a system that knows exactly how long they spent on apps, but not how complex the problem they solved was. So employees fear that this data could become tomorrow's performance appraisal. Now, it appears that both sides have a valid argument, but here's the problem. Measuring activity is not the same as measuring work. Sending 20 emails instead of 1 is not productivity. Opening and closing files is not productivity. Fidgeting with your mouse so that you do not get marked idle is definitely not productivity. The modern workplace seems to reward the appearance of work rather than the work itself. The spotlight often does not belong to the best performers, it belongs to the busiest ones. Also, there's another problem with tracking tools. Once data exists, someone will try to optimize it. If a dashboard shows idle time, the leadership will ask why. This is how micromanagement becomes institutionalized. It's like putting a fitness tracker on a hamster. Eventually, someone will ask the hamster to run faster. But the fact is, it doesn't matter how much you work. What matters is the outcome. You can send one brilliant email that solves a complex problem or 20 mediocre ones that create 20 more problems. You can spend 3 hours deeply thinking through a solution or 8 hours producing constant activity. When companies focus on output instead of outcome, they miss the point of modern work. So as tools grow smarter and workplaces grow more digital, here's the looming question. Do companies want employees who perform for dashboards or employees who perform for results? Because one leads to busyness, the other leads to brilliance. And no software can seem to tell the difference.
They promised glory. They delivered fear. They shaped nations. They scarred generations. From brutal purges to propaganda machines, from stolen power to to violent falls from the throne. Welcome to The Dictator, a series that strips away the myth and then exposes the men behind the tyranny. History remembers their power. Firstpost reveals their truth.